welcome to another Pathfinder educational video. I wanted to go back over risk and reward settings here for account management. Account management is the #1 name of the game. So we're going to have a trade that pops off pretty soon here, as soon as our PSI comes back and gives us that reset location, and then we get a little bit of momentum in the right direction here. This is going to pop off. Now, this week, we're doing live testing for the new Pathfinder update. And so I have an account here on TopStepX, which I have found extremely simple to use. And so I'm using that as a guide to show you. So you can see here my chart matches up. We are on NASDAQ micros, okay? So you can see everything matches up here, and we'll take the position over here. It's very simple, number of contracts, yada, yada, yada. It's all very simple on TopStepX. You can see up here the balance is $660 above the starting balance. And on here, this is really great. So watch this. There's going to be a couple extra things that pop up. So I'm going to go to settings on here. Now what I'm going to do on this 150K account, I'm going to set a profit target of 1% per trade. And I'm going to set a risk position or risk bracket of 500. Now, at the very least, it should be a 1 to 2 at the very least. Okay? Now, right here, personal daily loss limit. I'm not willing to lose more than $1,500 a day on this account. So I'm going to type this in, and this is what I can do is go to the PDLL, and I can click liquidate and block. If we hit $1,500 negative at any point, it will block the account for the day, so you can no longer trade, so you can't blow yourself up, because that is the biggest mistake people do. They blow themselves up because they start having a couple bad trades, and then they can't break out of it psychologically in the same day. So spread it out over the course of days. You should not be blowing an account in one day. You should not be hitting critical failure in one day. It should be drawn out. Okay, you got to give yourself space and time, because tomorrow the market might be fantastic. Maybe you struggle today, and maybe tomorrow you crush it. Now we're also going to enable the trailing stop loss, which means if I go up $2,000 in a day and I'm on my way to my $3,000 target, but not there yet. If I go up $2,000 and then I draw down $1,500, it will stop me out at $500 profit. So it means if I get above $1,500 for profit for the day, I'll automatically be making money no matter what, because there's a $1,500 trailing stop. Okay? I'm going to put a daily profit target of $3,000 and also liquidate and block. So I have $1,500, liquidate and block, enable trailing, $3,000 on this one. That's a 2% gain, and then liquidate and block. Okay? Now, for the moment, I'm not going to worry about maximum trades per day, and I'm not going to worry about maximum trades per week. I'm just going to go with these parameters right here, which you can screenshot. If you have a 150K account, you can set it. If you have a different size account, you can just adjust accordingly. We're going to click Save. Now, when I come back to chart here, and we see what the market is doing, market is coming back to our line. We're back to our 50 on the PSI. And so we're likely going to start to get some red arrows populating right here near this line coming out soon. Okay? But what you'll see on here is now up here, do you see how I have my daily profit target? It's got a meter that fills up as it goes. And then over here I have the trailing personal daily loss, and that's 1,500. So that'll fill up as I get closer to getting stopped out for the day. This will fill up as I get closer to hitting my goal for the day. All right, and that is the simplicity of it. That's the way that this works. So you'll have everything here, and then you'll see while this is running, it'll unlock. Now, when I take a sell position on here, you're going to see a stop loss and a take profit. I will immediately adjust those and add to my position as needed, so that way it gets me closer to what I'm looking to achieve here. So we'll cover that in a moment once we actually get the setup and where it's happening. So right now we're getting some selling pressure right here at the 50, which is what we want, and we want to see the market take another push to the downside here. We do also need to just check Forex Factory real quick and see any news. No, we're good. No red folder news, so we're in the clear. So we do see that there is selling pressure here. That's what we're looking for a catalyst to get this market pushing lower. Now, I don't know that this is going to give a red
Order
triangle.
filled.
If it does, we can add, but let's get this in the market here. So I'm going to take a selling position. Now, you can see here, my stop loss is way too far up. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring that down to right about here, this $250 mark. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to sell again to bring
Order
it
filled.
back up to $500. So I doubled my contracts, and now I have 10 contracts in the market, but I started with 5 micros. You should always start with 5 micros. Now I'm going to bring this up for a 1 to 2. This is where we're looking to potentially get to right here. Okay, so I have a 1 to 2 risk to reward ratio on this trade. And then from there, you're just going to let the trade play out, and you can set alerts. So what I want to know is, does the market get up to this point? If it does, I'm not necessarily interested in staying in the trade anymore. Okay. Right now, my last wave was off of the 50. And so I'm looking for a continuation of this wave from around the 50. So about where it's at right now is all I'm looking for. And then looking for that move to continue to the downside down here. So I have this alert set and watching that. And then I also want to know when we get down here, we're going to set that. Or you can set it on here. So one of the things that you can do, let's talk about risk management here. So because we talked about account management for the day, which is critical. You do not ever move your stop loss farther away. You do not ever say, oh, I'll risk a little bit more here. No, no, no. You have to keep your risk parameters in place, and it should always be at least a 1 to 2 is ideally what you're going for, okay? And if you get stopped out, too bad, so sad. Look for another trade, and then you have to learn to cut your losers and let your winners run. It's very important, okay? If something is not working, just get out. You can always get back in. If it shifts or if it's just a pullback, it stays valid, comes back down, you can always get back in and give yourself more risk-free opportunities. But the name of the game is giving yourself risk-free opportunities in order to make money. So what we can do here is once this trade, if it catches enough sellers or enough selling pressure to continue downward, and the PSI gets down to my 40. Now, if we were in a buy, we'd be looking for it to get to the 60, but here we're looking for it to get to the 40. Once it gets to the 40 and we've pushed down, if we've pushed down from the 40, you want to look to potentially go break even if price is moving, because that is the bounce zone in here. Price will bounce between here when it's in consolidation. Now there we go. There's our red triangle right there. We should start getting more red triangles unless we just get 1 or 2 and then the market takes off. But there's your first one right there. Okay. So our next checkpoint is for the PSI to get back down to the 40 and then go break even on this trade. Now I am going to keep this recording going for the full duration of this trade. Okay, so for the full duration of this trade, I'm going to keep this going. And we'll see what we can do here. We'll play this one out. You can see we have that selling pressure here. The market still could push up a little bit more, pick up more sellers, and then turn around. So I'm giving it a little bit of room here. Now this is a potential third wave here. You have 1, 2, potential third wave. So I don't know that I trust this to be able to push all the way down here to my target. So this is one of those trades where likely we would be looking to take profit a little bit sooner potentially, but we're going to give it the opportunity. We'll see what happens. It's also 7:50 a.m. on a Monday. So sometimes you just want to get your week started. Get a little profit in the bank. Get things going. We'll see how this plays out. This is already pulling back a little bit farther than what we're looking for. It is the same level so far, but this would need to turn around. Okay, so that right there is hitting the 60. If price does not turn around here from the 60, then we're definitely looking to exit out of this trade, which is why I have my stop loss right there. So we'll see if this gets hit, and that would be proper risk management. You should never be upset about properly managing your risk. If you're properly managing your risk, you are winning. The thing that you have to adjust to and learn is where that stop loss is. You have to give things a little bit of room because the market can play you. It can play you a little
Order
bit.
filled.
So there we go. Proper risk management. It stops us out. That's a good trade. Okay. It's not a great trade because it doesn't turn around and go in profit, but it's a good trade because you managed your risk. Okay. That's more likely to happen on the little triangles than it is the big triangles. The big triangles, these are fantastic, and your best moves are going to be right here. So you're going to see that you have your basis line, and you're going to see the market, for example, push under, pull back. You got that red triangle right there. Those are going to be your trades. You absolutely let those run for your targets all the way to target because that's your bigger trade. Your little hyper trader arrows, these little red ones, are the continuation of that. So sometimes you'll get them here, you catch the big one, and sometimes they're just little pushes. Okay? Little pushes after you've already had the big one, right? So big triangles, big trades, little triangles, little trades. All right, if that makes sense for you, go ahead, put some sevens in the chat. And that is the basis on how to manage your risk, how to set up a 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio, and how to manage your position risk and profile brackets, as well as your daily loss and daily profit targets. And you can see here that adds to my daily loss limit. So I'm at 500, which means I only have 3 trades. 3 trades, that's it. If I have 3 losing trades, you are out for the day. Okay? This is important because it causes you to be very mindful about what trades you take. You want to save your ammunition for the good trades, okay? And not just waste it on a trade that you're guessing on. You don't want to ever guess on a trade. This gave us a perfect little wave back, and we just as easily could have continued. Instead, we pull back. That's why the 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio comes in, because when you take your win, you're winning twice as much as what you're losing. Very important. Okay? All right, thanks for taking the time to watch this video. I would recommend that you watch this several times to fully study the risk management and understand your settings here. Now, these settings can be also set on Tradevate. You can set the same settings and on some other platforms as well. But one of the really nice things that I like about the Top Step X is the fact that when you take an entry, you can move your stop loss and your take profit right on the chart. So that way you can get it to the level you want it at and then add your position or reduce it to properly manage your risk. So I do like that about Top Step X, which they do allow you to trade up to 5 accounts on Top Step X at the same time. So there are some benefits on Top Step X, but that being one of them. Very easy risk parameters to set and easy execution. Very, very lightning fast market data and the ability to move your stop loss and take profit right on your chart. Kind of like your TradingView paper account, you're able to do that. So no other broker are you able to just grab it and slide it like Top Step X. So hope you enjoyed the video, and manage your risk properly. Give yourself a good risk to reward ratio, and we'll see you in the next one.